Hi viewers, did you watch this live stream? I hope you did. And if you do, I realize that there are a lot of viewers and subscribers asking, when you change your metering mode from spot meter to, where do you focus? That's a very interesting question. That is one of the most common questions that I get, that a lot of photographers do not know the difference between exposure metering modes and also focusing modes. And why am I out here telling you this? That people don't know? No. Here's the solution. We are going to be answering all these questions systematically. Starting today, if you head on to my e-learning website here, check out this product, which is called Premium Courses. Premium Courses is a multi-genre e-learning on photography, and every week you're going to get lessons uploaded. And it's multi-genre. Look at the courses and the type of things you learn in Premium Courses. And we are starting a new one, just this one, where we're going to teach you step by step, if you are a new photographer, all the basic things to the advanced things, on exposure, on focusing, on metering mode. What is the difference when you use metering mode this way, and what focusing mode should you use? How the sensors behave? How do you do eye detection? What is a hybrid sensor? Everything is going to be dedicated in this section of Premium Courses. And here's the good news. Premium Courses was created a year ago. It has been a year since. We have hundreds over videos, and I just filmed a total of 6 new videos for this segment, and this segment will grow over time. And the price is just $29 per year. That's right. For the whole year, you get to enjoy all these existing courses in there, and also the weekly lessons that we are uploading. Multi-genre. And if you're new to photography, just this section alone is going to be worth the money. So hurry, head on to my website, click on Premium Courses, and sign up now. And this offer won't last forever. I want you to have a quick preview of what you can learn with this new section of Premium Courses. Enjoy. We've gone through a very detailed introduction about exposure, focusing, and composition. Let's go through the first one. Exposure. You're probably thinking now that with the mirrorless camera being so smart, showing you exactly live and holding the camera pointing to your subject, and why can't I just turn the ISO, the aperture and the shutter speed, and then it looks great in exposure, and just take that shot? You can do that. Yes, you can do it. You should be doing that. In fact, there's no point. Let me be the first one to tell you, if you are still buying a DSLR camera, you are in trouble. Because there was a time that I thought that mirrorless camera will not take over DSLR. But I'm going to look to Yi Chong, my filming director now, a very experienced producer. You think mirrorless will overtake DSLR? Confirmed. 5 years ago, were you quite skeptical? We had our doubt, but it's happening right now. If I'm going to go out and buy myself a camera, I'll never buy a DSLR anymore, because the video of a mirrorless camera that is another topic. Back to exposure now. So you can exactly have no knowledge about ISO, aperture and shutter speed, and just look at the preview of your LCD screen behind your mirrorless camera and then just take a shot. This is how the shot looks like. Looks great. But let's go through the mistake of being a mirrorless camera users with no knowledge on ISO, aperture and shutter speed. Firstly, I'm going to zoom in and take a look at this picture. There seems to be quite a fair bit amount of noise, which makes me suspect that the ISO was wrongly selected. Why would you want to choose an ISO so high on an outdoor shot on a bright day? That is what I call an ISO should be used based on the brightness of the location. But when it comes to shutter speed, it should be chosen based on the motion or perceived motion of your subject. We have the post or barely moving shutter speed. I call this the 10th shutter speed. So you can shoot this at 1/30, 1/60, 1/90. As long as it's below 100, you're still fine, because the subjects are not moving, barely moving, and you can stay still. But then you have subjects that move quite briskly. They move, but not fast enough. And this is what I call the 100th. So when you look at your subject, you should be able to gauge what shutter speed to use. So you can use shutter speed of 1/200, 1/400, that's fine. And then you have subjects that move like this. You need to use higher shutter speed. Simple rule, nothing less than 1/2000. I still remember when I was shooting assignment for SEA Games, the last one. It was a platform diving. Nothing can be shot with a shutter speed less than 1/2000. It's like, you see the leg? You see them out of, so these are the three speeds. Barely moving, below 100. Moving but not fast enough, 100th. And then you have the sports movement.
Sports movement one need thousands.
Need 1,000.
It starts from 500.
Yeah, it can be 500 lah. It depends on what sports, right? You can be playing croquet. Or you can be playing dart, right? So don't even think that you can do an archery shot and freeze the arrow. Right, look at this shot. Why would you want to shoot this at 1/2000? Whenever I show this photo, my student will go like, whoa, the arrow is fast. She's not shooting yet. So your shutter speed. And finally, your choice of aperture will determine how much of light that hits the sensor. And this is one of the most confusing settings there is, because the aperture is this hole here. Don't be confused with the aperture blade. This hole here is, in English, aperture means an opening. So when the opening is bigger, the aperture value, the f value, is smaller. Now let me get the basis of this correctly. Why is it so confusing? You see, this aperture here is actually the opening here. Not this. These are called the aperture blades. So when the aperture blades retract, you have a bigger hole. Now, the confusing part is this. When the aperture is big, the f value is small. When the f value is big, the hole is small. Forget about the size of the hole. I just need you to remember now, learn where to focus, and you know that it's a creative art knowing where to focus. We now need to tell the camera where to focus. The easiest way to focus is to go to your camera and tap on the screen, and then that little box will be there. And sometimes you notice that when the subject moves, that little box does not follow. We now need to understand how the camera's focusing system works. Well, traditionally, most cameras are designed to have two things: the focusing modes and the focusing area. Let's talk about the focusing mode first. Because you have three types of subjects. Subjects that barely move or do not move. So your cameras don't need to track the movement. So all you need to realize one thing, that's the focusing mode. What about focusing areas? Well, the camera actually has these areas that is effective in determining where the focus point can move. They don't put focus point all over the focusing screen. The focusing screen is a layer or device that's in front of your sensor. It helps you to detect movement. So it's not the sensor exactly that does that. It's a layer that's in front. So what happens is that the camera uses this focus point to detect movement. It uses the edge. So when my edge changes, there's a contrast, it knows how to follow. So hurry, head on to premium courses, $29 per year. Grab it now before the offer is over.